Hey guys, Ken Smith from KenSmithStayingAtHome.com. Sorry I've not posted much in the last week. Actually, I've not posted at all. I posted a video from a week ago, but I've not been on the water. I've not been out of the house. Excuse me, that little blip was me coughing. I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on how we are and what we've been experiencing, just so you kind of have a sense of well, what's been going on. So, sorry I had to adjust the camera a little bit there. So I travel a fair bit for work, and I was involved back on March the 3rd with a little bit of an altercation on an airplane flying back from Chicago. Some of y'all saw it on the news, and that was a Tuesday night. And on Sunday, the following Sunday, I started feeling bad. And Monday, I felt worse. I felt real fluey. I had pain through my shoulders. I had a real bad cough. I couldn't sleep. I never felt what I would call a shortness of breath, but I didn't feel good. And then it got worse through the day Monday. I started getting the chills, and I felt like I was probably running a fever. And of course, I stayed home from work on that Monday. I took my temperature that afternoon, and my temperature was a little bit over 101. And so I told Sarah I was going to get up and go to the doctor Tuesday morning, which I called Tuesday morning, got an appointment. I was running a much lower fever Tuesday morning. I felt my fever kind of break. If you know how that is, you get sweaty and you feel your fever break. And I felt better Tuesday. Went to the doctor. I got a flu test. It was a very odd experience. Now this is before really anybody had really been diagnosed much around here. And my doctor and everybody on their staff was wearing gloves and masks. And I'd never seen that before, so it was a little bit spooky. And my doctor also happens to be Chinese. So she said there are no coronavirus tests available. So they gave me a flu test. They stuck this swab up my nose and did the flu test. And the flu test came back negative. So she sent me to the CVS, and I got I think Tamiflu or something like it, and a dose of antibiotics. And Sarah and I talked, and we decided to just self-quarantine. So I have not been to the office now in a couple of weeks. I felt crappy for a couple of days, and then I felt much better through the end of that week. My cough never went away. Sarah developed a cough. Thank the good Lord, Hollis hasn't developed anything at all. My fever came back again, just a real mild fever, Monday or Tuesday of this past week. I ran about a 99.7, maybe 100-degree temperature, and then it's gotten better again since then. My only real issues now, well, I've lost 11 pounds, which I was trying to lose 11 pounds, not this particular way. But I lost my appetite, which is one of the things they say this can cause. I had some issues on my lower end that I hope have now passed. Sarah and I have talked quite a bit. We feel like we probably had coronavirus. We've not exposed anybody else to it. In the last 2 weeks, we've only been out of the house to go to the grocery store to get food and wiping our buggies down, and I mean really not touching or interacting with anybody more than we absolutely had to. That's why I've not been to the lake. I feel much better now. We've talked. There doesn't seem to be any reason to get tested at this point. The only reason I could see to get tested would be if they could prove I had it and I have the antibodies now where I couldn't get it again, then maybe I could help out with some stuff where people are going to be exposed to people who might have it. But it doesn't sound like that's a possibility either. So I'm not going to get tested. We're going to remain self-quarantined for at least another week and probably 2. I can do most of my work from the house. I think we're probably going to go to the lake tomorrow, so I'll get some fishing videos up. I am going to ask you guys, I get recognized a lot at the lake. If you recognize me, just keep your distance, wave and say hi, but let's sure not shake hands or get real close to each other. And we're going to bring enough food that we can be on our own down there and not bother anybody. We're going to shelter in place in Zavala and go to the lake and fish a little bit, but again, keeping our distance from everybody. So what I would say to you is this is a real deal, I think. I know it is. There's nobody fabricating anything about this. Even though, by the way, there was a really scary article earlier in the week about how this is impacting some infants. So we've been very concerned that Hollis doesn't get sick. You know, a lot of people seem to think it doesn't impact kids, but there was an article that from China that it's one of the studies that it does, and there's been some kids have really gotten sick. There's been a 14-year-old who died in China from coronavirus. This is a scary deal. So if you don't have to be out and about in public, don't. Just stay home, because it might not impact you badly, but you could get, you know, you could be exposed and not know it. I was probably exposed for 5 or 6 days, 5 days, and didn't know it. And you get around your parents or your grandparents or your neighbors and make somebody who's elderly sick, and it's a bad deal. By the way, I got a lot of questions. Dickie did not stay and fish the Kota, or excuse me, the FLW tour event last week. He came home, and I'm proud of him for doing it. Personally, I think it was foolish for FLW to carry that tournament out, and some of you will probably disagree with me there, but this is a time to be safe, and I'm proud of my friend for scrapping his chances to make the cup or win Angler of the Year to be safe and keep his family safe. That's what we should all be doing right now. So I'm going to throw one more thing in here just professionally, guys. I think a lot of you guys know I'm a life insurance agent. And I'll tell you that we've already seen our carriers pulling back. They've put out a notice this past week saying that if you've traveled abroad, they're not going to write you for 30 days. And I think that you're going to see them probably pull back. My thinking is it's going to be really hard to get people examined, and I think you're going to see carriers start pulling back and not issuing life insurance somewhere in the very near future. So if you've been procrastinating buying life insurance and you need some, this is the time to get on it. I'd be glad to help you. That's what I do for a living. Just email me at kensmithfishing@outlook.com, and I'll jump right on it and help you get that done. From a distance, we can do it all through email, but if you've been procrastinating that and there's people who depend on you, this is the time to take care of that. Quit putting it off. This is the time to do it. So thanks for, I've gotten 100 emails, guys, checking on me and Facebook messages because I had sort of mentioned that I didn't feel good. And thanks so much for all you guys reaching out. I feel way better now. My voice is still a little goofy and I've lost some weight, but I feel much better. But I'm going to keep my distance from everybody. We'll mind our own business down there. Bodie's coming up here to help me film a little bit. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get some footage up for you guys. I know the fishing's pretty good on Rayburn. It almost sounds like it's pretty good on the south end and not so great on the north end. But we're going to get down there and poke around a little bit and find out. So since I can work from the house, we'll work from that house this week. So again, thanks for everybody checking on me. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks. I've had a bunch of new subscribers this week. I'll get you some fun footage to watch and get our minds off of this this coronavirus thing this week, and hopefully catch some big ones. So, hey, Bo. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see y'all here in just a couple days. I'll get some fishing videos out.